Hi, my name's Amber. Today we're going to be talking about safe training for dogs. You may ask yourself, what is dog training? Dog training is the addition of new behaviors or the elimination of existing behaviors. So for new behaviors, we have a method of showing our dogs that what we want them to do, and when they do it, there's a favorable outcome. Same for behaviors that we want to eliminate. So if they do something, there's an unfavorable outcome. There are also other ways of eliminating existing behaviors, and that's doing something that is incongruous to what they're already doing. Incongruous behavior means that it's two behaviors that cannot happen at the same time. So if your dog jumps on you when you enter the door, he can't jump on you and sit nicely when you walk in the door. Therefore, you're teaching him that that's a better option. So dogs do not instinctively know what is good and bad in the human world. So it is our responsibility as a dog owner to teach them what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And safe training is the way that we develop this code. Safe training is scientifically based. It uses a scientific theory known as operant conditioning. And what this is doing is that when they do something that is good and a favorable outcome happens, they're more likely to do that same behavior. Same with negative. So if they do something that is unfavorable and they have an unfavorable outcome, they're less likely to do it. So SAFE is an acronym, and it stands for S is for signal, A is for action, F is for feedback, and E is the eventual effect. So the signal is going to be what we're asking the dog to do now. And that in safe training, we're going to use a verbal and a visual cue. There are other ways of teaching. You can use a tactile, you can use olfactory, which is smell, or even taste. But in basic pet training, we are just going to stick with the two, visual and verbal. So again, signal is do something now. A is action. This is anything that the dog does in the next 3 to 5 seconds, and that means that it could be what you wanted, or it could mean that's something that you did not want. Either way, these 3 to 5 seconds is allowing the dog to figure out what does she want me to do. Also, feedback, F is for feedback, that is going to be when you are telling the dog if they did what you wanted them to or if they did not do what you wanted them to. So, like they have the 3 to 5 seconds to figure out what we want, we only have 1 second to give them the feedback. No matter what happens, there's always learning. So even if they don't do it right or they don't do anything at all, they're learning, well, that's not what she wants of me. So when they do something good and you're going to give them a good boy, you're going to give them a treat, that's anything that the dog likes. So that includes treats, food, but also you're going to use your other ways of telling them that that's what you want. That could be something as simple as a smile, a pat on the head, excuse me, or even eye contact. They actually really like that. So how do we make treats better for dogs that may not be so interested in them? There's a way to do that, and you either get better treats, and the smellier the better, or you skip feeding them one meal. If they're a little bit hungrier, they're going to be a little bit more enthusiastic about getting that treat from you and doing what you want them to do in order to get it. And treats are most favorable in any instance. So you're thinking, well, am I going to have treats on me all day, every day? That's very impractical. So how we're going to solve that problem is that we're going to build on our good feedback word. So if you're going to use good boy, if you're going to use good girl, you're going to use good dog, I use yes. So every time that you follow that good feedback word with a treat, you're building the significance of that word. So every time that you give them that treat after that good word, after, long time, that will start to be a connection in their brain, and when you say that word, it's going to be as if you're giving them a treat. But in this 8-week course, we're going to use treats the entire 8 weeks. So, like I said, that's for the favorable feedback. We also have the unfavorable feedback, and in SAFE, we stress using minimally aversive training methods. So we don't hit our dog when they do something wrong. We don't scream and jump up and down. What we're going to do is something that is already something that they don't like, but it doesn't stress them out or doesn't cause them any harm. And that's going to be a simple, low, sharp tone. We use You can use bop. You can use anything that, again, is very low and very sharp and something that they don't necessarily want to run up to. So that is the favorable feedback. And again, E is effect, so that's going to be the eventual effect of the learning that's taking place, whether that be that it is more likely that they're going to do the behaviors that you'd like, or it's going to be less likely that it's going to happen. So the main thing that I want you to take away from today is keeping the integrity of SAF. So what I mean by that is that if you give your dog a signal, I don't want you to fade away and pretend and forget that you've told them to do something. I don't want you to say it over and over again. You need to follow it as it is. Give them a signal, give them the 3 to 5 seconds to answer, to figure out what you want from them. And then you're always going to give a feedback, whether that be the favorable or the unfavorable. Also, we don't want to see a combination of signals such as rusty, sit. Also, forgetting to give feedback. And I believe that is it. If you have any further questions, you can rewind the video or contact me at Westlake Canine. Thank you very much.